Hello everyone, I'm Christina B. Rising and welcome to the Perspective Plan Show, where I help you boost your productivity and stay organized so that you can easily handle whatever life throws at you. I upload new videos and podcasts every single week, so be sure to subscribe so you won't miss anything. Shop for workbooks, printables, and stickers at perspectiveplans.com. And last but not least, this episode would not be possible without the support of our Perspective Plans patrons and channel members. Thank you. Now let's get into this episode. Increasing productivity has been a preoccupation throughout the past several decades. According to a poll, over 60% of people desire to increase their productivity, and there is no lack of books, blogs, and podcasts like this that cater to this desire. Though certain productivity tips are helpful, many people become dissatisfied when they realize that it only seems to work for a few days, if at all. It's not that the advice itself is flawed or that something is wrong with the desire to be more productive. Finding productivity advice is seldom a problem, even if there is frequently a wealth of knowledge accessible on productivity, especially with the steady stream of studies on boosting individual and organizational productivity at work. The majority of people struggle with understanding it, figuring out what works for their particular scenario, and putting it into practice, which is a big part of why most productivity advice falls short. Here are several major reasons why most productivity advice doesn't exactly work out, regardless of whether you're leading a team or making the most of your personal contributions. Tip 1. Being highly unorganized. A crowded workstation or a disorganized desk might lower your productivity. Invest in some daily effort in decluttering your workspace to increase your productivity. The same holds true for your task and even your computer. Run some antivirus software and even distraction-free software if you need to. Tidy up your desktop and remove any downloaded files you don't need. Discuss your duties with your supervisors, staff, and even your clients in straightforward manners. Always be mindful of responsibilities, including what has to be done and how it fits into your overall projects. One of the best ways to manage your work is to use task and activity organizer tools like Magic Task. Tip 2. There isn't a single productivity strategy that works for everyone, and there is no one size fits all. Most of us are aware that what works for one may not work for another, but we frequently overlook the fact that this proverb always holds true in other contexts as well. While there are always valuable insights from productivity advice, it occasionally forgets that unique situations frequently call for unique answers. Productivity advice is typically intended to wide audiences and, of course, a wide array of problems. One team member's solution might not be the answer to your issue. What works well one week might not be suitable the next. On a personal level, your go-to productivity routines may work wonders most days, but they may fall short on a bad one. So, what do you substitute in its place? It is necessary to consider production from a wider angle in order to truly be effective. Although productivity is more like a wave than a light switch, we have a tendency to conceive of it as such. Rather than depending on a single tactic or a short fix, consider assembling a set of tools that can adapt to these changes as needed. Tip 3. Seldom is productivity steady. One of the main issues with productivity advice has less to do with advice itself and more to do with the way that productivity is now perceived. Contrary to popular belief, which holds that production levels should remain consistent throughout time, productivity is not static, nor should it be. Our levels of productivity are influenced by a myriad of circumstances. Things happen on all levels, from the individual, sleep quality, stress level, home life, and so much more, to the organizational. The degree of productivity varies day by day. Accept it, rather than trying to simply resist it. What to substitute in its place? Keep in mind that production levels are supposed to vary. Make time for relaxation and even recuperation. And don't be scared to take risks. There will be days when productivity soars and days when it will truly struggle. Consider these innate rhythms rather than fighting against them. Tip 4. Though it's seldom, straightforward productivity advice is rarely easy. Productivity methods are usually rather straightforward, as is the case with most personal development recommendations. These are not hard ideas to grasp. They include the Pomodoro technique, mindfulness training, and so much more. But putting them into practice can be a bit difficult. It's quite easy to go for a walk or a run. You just have to take your running shoes, go out the door, and get moving. But it won't be simple to run a few miles if you've never jogged a day in your life. It's crucial to understand the distinction between simple and easy. What to do instead? Unless you're disciplined and experienced, steer clear of your major overhauls. Start modest, such as adding a 5-minute brain dump to arrange your thoughts each morning, rather than distractingly altering your schedule. Effective adjustments should be planned and gradual. Tip 5, not taking a rest throughout the day. You must take breaks to truly refresh yourself. You may stay focused and prevent burnout by taking a brief snack, going for a stroll, or even stretching. Even though taking pauses during the day is crucial, not everyone understands how vital it is. Ignoring breaks might result in burnout and even lower output. Taking a pause is important so that you may refresh yourself and allow for your thoughts to truly relax. Take a stroll, stretch, or even have a little snack to make you feel a bit more energized. Over time, skipping breaks can have a detrimental effect on both your physical and emotional well-being. It becomes more difficult to sustain high performance when you don't have regular rest periods, since your stress levels grow and your attention levels fade. Including regular little breaks in your routine can improve your general well-being, creativity, and happiness. Stepping away from your work for even a short while may have a big impact. Take use of this time to meditate, take deep breaths, or do something that soothes you. Making breaks a priority can help you maintain your attention and energy levels throughout the day, which will increase productivity and help you avoid burnout. Tip 6, underlying behaviors are not addressed by tools, recommendations, or methods. While project management software and new productivity tools can be highly beneficial for both boosting individual and team productivity, they can frequently lead to shiny object syndrome. When this occurs, a new instrument or solution may be quite successful at first because to the enthusiasm around it, but when the novelty of it wears off, so does its effectiveness. This frequently occurs when techniques and methods for increasing productivity fall short in addressing issues like ingrained patterns and emotional intelligence, which is important for time management, setting priorities, self-awareness, and even self-control. Actually, studies indicate that emotional intelligence boosts job happiness, enhances job performance, and even lowers the risk of burnout, all of which are associated with increased productivity. What to substitute it in its place? Prior to putting new productivity tools, tactics, or strategies into practice, think about how you may utilize these resources to improve or even alter your current routines. Which challenges are the most significant for you? Where are the bottlenecks taking place? Will you be using this resource for an extended period of time? You will be able to identify your weaknesses and implement long-lasting remedies more easily if you use emotional intelligence to understand yourself and even your patterns. Tip 7, you're not allowed to watch TV while working. Never attempt to convince yourself that you can do tasks in life simultaneously while binge watching a TV show you really enjoy. That is simply untrue. Every time you believe something significant is happening, which may be nearly every time, you will become sidetracked. I have experienced this before. Even though I was wasting a lot of time, I used to believe that watching a movie on TV increased my productivity. Just keep your attention on the work at hand. You can have some music or a podcast playing in the background if you'd like some sound. When trying to multitask while working, watching TV, or even using other visual media frequently results in less productivity and possibly even more mistakes. The story that is being shown on the screen and the work at hand are competing for your brain's attention, which leads to fragmented attention and subpar performance. Instead, get rid of these distractions and create a space that encourages focus. Choose relaxing noises, podcasts, or even instrumental music that doesn't demand you to actively participate in it. By doing this, you may keep a work-friendly environment without giving in to the allure of visual entertainment all the time, which will help you stay focused and finish your responsibilities faster. If you have tried bullet journaling, time blocking, or just plain old to-do lists but haven't found the right solution to manage your time, then it's time to try out the Hourly Planner Bundle. This is the ultimate planner with everything you need to manage your schedule and get things done today. Featuring 300 plus planner pages with and without sidebars, 100 plus event and holiday labels, and over 2,000 plus planner stickers in 14 unique colors. All this and more can be found in our Hourly Planner Bundle, available in 2 amazing color options at perspectiveplans.com. Paperback edition, now available at Amazon. Helping you plan for what's to come. Tip 8, putting in extended hours of work. An increasingly prevalent error is overworking yourself. Long hours might be detrimental to your work in many aspects. Fatigue impairs concentration and increases the likelihood of errors. Additionally, learning new knowledge is more difficult when you're tired. Working long hours can have negative effects on productivity and efficiency in addition to health issues. Lack of sleep can increase the risk of illness and even increase the likelihood of worry and sadness. If you find yourself working long hours on a regular basis, you should stop and reassess your work schedule. Look for methods to reduce the number of hours you work or even for activities that you can assign to someone else. Tip 9. Effective individuals set priorities. Making to-do lists is advised whenever you have any kind of task, no matter how minor. Creating lists will assist you in maintaining organization and concentrate on your to-do list. Nonetheless, we have to prioritize 3 or 4 tasks when we have a lot on our plate. We pay far more attention to the chores we need to finish before the end of the day when we prioritize our tasks. Additionally, since you'll be focusing on 3 to 4 projects rather than the mountain of work you could have for that day, it's simpler to avoid feeling overwhelmed. When composing lists, it's a good idea to start with your priorities so that your mind is forced to focus on completing them as soon as possible. Effective individuals also recognize the value of being flexible with their priorities. While having a well-organized list is essential, it's also critical to be flexible enough to adjust to the last-minute modifications or even pressing duties. When unanticipated problems crop up that need to be addressed right away, having a prioritized list makes it easy to take stock and change your emphasis. When things don't go as planned during the day, you may still complete your most crucial duties because of this versatility. Additionally, you can stay on track and make sure that your priorities stay in line with your goals by going over and updating your to-do list during the day. By giving users a clear, achievable routine to follow, this dynamic method to prioritizing not only increases productivity, but also lowers your stress levels. Tip 10. Not having objectives. Not creating objectives is one of the biggest blunders individuals make. Being unplanned makes it difficult to remain motivated and, of course, focused. You have a few options for creating realistic goals. First, confirm that your objectives are quantifiable and, of course, precise. It will be simpler to monitor and develop and remain on course as a result. Secondly, give your plan a deadline so you have something to work towards. Lastly, tell someone else about your objectives to hold you accountable and responsible to have a support system for motivation. Making an action plan is what you want to do in order to keep on track with your objectives. This will list the actions you must perform in order to accomplish your objective. It's also critical to confirm that your objectives are reasonable. Be careful to account for elements like time and, of course, resources while formulating your goals. Share this awesome episode with someone you know who needs it to help them plan for what's to come. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I hate for you to miss the next episode. Now let's get into our recap. So let's do a quick recap just in case you missed a tip on our list. Tip 1, being highly unorganized. Tip 2, there isn't a single productivity strategy that works for everyone. Tip 3, seldom is productivity steady. Tip 4, though it's seldom, straightforward productivity advice is rarely easy. Tip 5, not taking a rest. Tip 6, underlying behaviors are not addressed by tools, recommendations, or even methods. Tip 7, you're not allowed to watch TV while working. Tip 8, putting in extended hours of work. Tip 9, effective individuals. Tip 9, effective individuals set priorities. Tip 10, not having objectives. Improved productivity means less human sweat and not more. Henry Ford. What was different on the days when you were really productive? What about the times when it was difficult for your team to complete any task? You may learn more from shifting production levels and make necessary adjustments the more open-minded you are to this. Analyzing your productivity trends might provide you important information on how to streamline your workflow. Make a note of things like your surroundings, the time of day, or the particular activities you were working on days when you were really productive. In contrast, think of any outside demands, diversions, or low energy that could have impeded your efforts on less productive days. You may create plans to duplicate the circumstances that increase production and even lessen those that hinder it by figuring out these variables. Accepting the normal ups and downs in productivity enables you to manage your workload in a more adaptable and practical way, which will eventually result in a more reliable and efficient performance. I just want to take a moment to thank our patrons and channel members. This episode would not be possible without your support. Thank you. And if you would like to support the show, visit patreon.com/perspectiveplans today. Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments or your podcast review what tip you'll be using. Keep planning for what's to come, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.